way, here's the headline of the New York Post today. Schooled on hate is the front page of the New York Post. And Bill Ackman is saying, look, if you're one of these students, I want to know who you are, because in the business world, we ain't going to hire you.
I don't know when we lost the ability to have empathy for students who are learning, many of whom didn't even see the letter that they were signing on to. But this is not going to sit well in the aftermath for businesses. I've seen this over and over, where they chime in really quickly. You've got the CEO of Sweetgreen now chiming in and saying he's never going to hire one of these students who may not have even seen the letter, who now have buses, have vans driving around with their face on it around Harvard's campus. This has gotten insane, and these are students. It is just awful. It's an education teaching moment. They are wrong about this statement.
That's what I was going to ask you.
They are wrong about this statement, but we need to teach them that and not put their face on a billboard and parade it around town.
There's like a van that's driving around that's releasing some of the names. Mulvaney, former White House chief of staff, Harvard grad as well. What do you make of what Bill Ackman is saying? Basically, look, put your name behind it so we don't hire you.
I loved it, and as much as I enjoy being here in Key West, I'd love to be there with Johanna to have this face. I very rarely disagree with her as aggressively as I'm going to do right now. That's crazy.
Surprised you have a vest on if you're in Key West, by the way.
He dressed really hot.
I have the floral shirt. I'll put it on for the next block.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
Look, these are the same students who have been running professors out of their jobs. So let me get this right. Now we're supposed to treat them as just students making honest mistakes that don't have any long-term implications in life. But when they were running professors out of Harvard, out of Georgetown, out of Chicago, out of South Carolina over the course of the last years, then that was okay. Listen, the great thing that's going to come out of this exchange with Bill Ackman is that people are going to realize that virtue signaling isn't free. If you're going to take a side, you better be able to debate it. Now, to Ackman's credit, and I think Johanna would agree with this as well, I think the theme of his message was, if you make a mistake, the time to fix it is now. So I don't think he's saying that this is a scar against you forever, but he is driving home that the stuff you do in college counts, and it should, and it hasn't for too long now.
Virtue signaling isn't free, says Mick. Is that the takeaway here?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Mick. I think that if the students didn't read the letter, then shame on them. Then don't put your name on the letter. I mean, especially these kids grew up in the social media world where things go viral, and CEOs are able to make the decision of who they hire. And I also think that the president of Harvard should have come out a lot earlier saying that we don't support terrorist groups.
Can I split the difference between Mick and Johanna? Because I think there's actually a little bit of gulf there that I'm there on. I think there's consequences for sure. Virtue signaling is not free, and these kids should learn that. If I was an employer looking at that statement, I'd have some super hard questions. I probably wouldn't bring that person in. And it was a terrible statement to make. You
probably wouldn't, you said.
Would not.
Would not.
Sorry,
Okay.
would not. Let me be clear. But at the same time, I don't think billionaires and very wealthy, influential people need to go punch down on these kids. Let their future employers, let the folks at Harvard, let the people that are criticizing the letter take that and make that a real moment for them. But you don't need to punch down that hard.
What happened to freedom of speech and the Republicans being against cancel culture?
Well,
I think
as Mick said, the folks who were the most aggressive at cancel culture now find themselves accountable for what they had to say. That seems to me closer to justice. But look, we've been through a bunch of years where the leaders of universities were afraid of their students. In the same way some employers were afraid of their employees, we were due to get to some kind of natural reset where what you say could come back to bite you, whether you're on the left or you're on the right. And maybe folks thinking before they tweet, that should make for a healthier country.
Hey, Mick, before we go, should the president of one of your alma mater step down as a result of this?
No, listen, I'm not. That's where I'm with Johanna. I'm not into this cancel culture. If you make mistakes, admit it and move on. But let's have the debate. I think this is healthy in the long term. I really do. I do think the pendulum's coming back in the middle. I don't want to see it to go too far to the other side again.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.